Hello everyone and welcome to Acupressure Wednesday. I'm Alexa Hulsey from Encircle Acupuncture in Nashville. Thanks for joining us. So today we are doing acupressure for the face. So very important, before we do any acupressure on our faces, you need to have clean hands. So if you don't have clean hands, go wash your hands or get some hand sanitizer because we will be touching our faces during this session today. So gotta have clean hands anytime we touch our faces. So we're doing facial acupressure today, and facial acupressure is great for lots of different conditions affecting the face. And we have seen a lot of this in the clinic lately. And I think that one of the reasons why is because of mask wearing. And so when we're all wearing our masks, when we're out in public, we're using our faces differently. We're holding tension in different areas of our face. Our breathing is different. And so we're seeing lots of conditions affecting the face in the clinic right now. So I thought that today we could do some facial acupressure to work on some of that. So again, if you haven't washed your hands, go wash your hands or get some hand sanitizer before we start our session today. So we're going to start off by just taking some breaths and getting grounded and centered and just tuning in and checking in with our bodies. So just start in a comfortable seated position, feet on the floor, and you want your spine neutral, and just breathe comfortably for a few breaths. Just let everything slow down. You can close your eyes if you like, or you can leave your eyes open. I'm going to close my eyes for a couple of breaths and just breathe comfortably and just settle into your body. And just check in with your body, see how your body's feeling today, and notice any signals that your body's trying to send you. Are you feeling tension anywhere? Are you feeling pain anywhere? What's going on with your body? And especially, I want you to tune into what's happening in your face. Are you feeling any muscle tension anywhere in your face? Does anything feel tight, tingling, numbness? Anything like that. So just check in and see how your face is feeling. I'm going to stop talking so that I can check in with my face. So for me, I'm holding a little tension in my jaws. My eyes feel a little irritated, a little dry. So we'll check in again at the end of our session and see how we're feeling and if we're feeling any different. Okay, so now we're going to do a gathering exercise to just gather some chi from our surroundings, and then we're going to use that chi that we have gathered in our practice. So for your gathering exercise, you can either be seated or you can stand. I'm going to stand, but you can stay seated if it's comfortable. And you want your feet on the floor. If you're standing, you want your feet about hip width apart, and a little bend in your knees, no locked knees, and just inhale and raise your arms overhead with your palms up. And as you exhale, turn your palms down and bring your palms to rest on your abdomen. Let's do that a few times. Inhale. And exhale. And you want to just imagine gathering the chi from your surroundings and bringing it into your lower abdomen. There's plenty of chi in the universe, so take as much as you need. Exhale. All right. So we've gathered in some chi, and now just rub your palms together. All that chi that we've just gathered, you want to direct it out to your palms and your fingertips, since we'll be using those in our session today. Get your palms nice and warm. The skin will probably start to change colors, maybe get a little darker, get a little red. Nice and tingly. All right, my palms feel tingly. I'm ready to go. So again, if you're just joining us, make sure you have clean hands because we're doing facial acupressure today. And I'm going to get myself some hand sanitizer and then we'll be ready to go. So, facial acupuncture, there are dozens of acupoints on the face, and facial acupuncture can treat, or acupressure can treat all kinds of conditions affecting the face. So facial acupressure can treat things like sinus issues, congestion, allergy symptoms, anything affecting the eyes, eye irritation, tired eyes at the end of the day, any kind of tension in the face, so jaw tension, facial tension, tingling, numbness, pain anywhere in the face. And as I mentioned, we've been seeing a lot of facial conditions in the clinic lately. I think it's because people are wearing masks all the time, and so we're using our faces differently and holding our muscles differently. We've also seen an increase in the number of Bell's palsy cases that we're treating. Bell's palsy is partial paralysis of the face. And again, I think it's just become more common now. Mask wearing might be a part of it. It's also a viral condition, and it's also related to stress. And speaking of that, facial acupressure is very relaxing because our faces are where we express our emotions. So if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're fearful, all of that gets held in your face and expressed through your face. And when we're holding on to emotions, we hold tension in our faces without realizing it. And so facial acupressure is very relaxing because it helps to release those emotions that we've been holding on to and maybe not even realizing it. So you should feel nice and relaxed at the end of this session today. Another benefit of facial acupressure is that it will direct circulation to the skin of the face, and so it benefits the complexion too. So you should have a nice healthy glow after today's session. It's great to do anytime. Also, facial acupressure, the points are super easy to access. So I hope you enjoy this today. So we're going to start with one of my favorite points that I use all the time in the clinic, and that is the point yin tong. Let me scoot a little closer to the camera and get up close and personal on my face. So yin tong is located here between the eyebrows, right there. It's called Hall of Impression. And so the technique for this point, you can rub it in circles. You can also just sort of rub upwards. That feels really good. Or you can rub outward over the eyebrows. So this point benefits the eyes. So if you're having any kind of eye issues, this is a great point for that. It also is great for clearing the sinuses. So especially if you have sinus pressure in your forehead or in this eye area, if you get headaches behind your eyes, that's another great one that facial acupressure treats is headaches. So if you get headaches or migraines around your eyes, yin tong is a great one for that. And it also calms the shen. So in traditional Chinese medicine, our shen is our emotional, psychological, spiritual aspect. And so it's good for balancing the emotions and calming the emotions. So yin tong is a point we use very frequently in the clinic because it has such a broad range of applications. So that's yin tong. It feels great to just rub that in circles. And then let's do this point out here on the temples. This one's called Tai Yang, which means supreme yang. And it's really just, you just follow the outer corner of your eye outward, and there's going to be a depression in the temple here. A lot of people will naturally massage this point when you have a headache or when you're feeling stressed or tense, you just need to calm down or need to take a break. If you need to think for a minute, it helps to just clear all the clutter out of your head. I like to rub it in slow circles, and I like to do the circles in both directions. You can also just press if that feels good. This one also benefits the eyes, just like yin tang does. It's a great point for headaches in the temples. It really helps to just dispel any kind of stagnation in there. So if you've got conditions affecting the eyes and the temples, headaches or eye irritation, this is a great one to do. And then there's another one on the forehead that I want to show you. Is gallbladder 14. So the way that you find this, it's located directly above the pupil. So just the center of your eye. And then it's 1/3 of the distance between the eyebrow and the hairline. So you take this width of your forehead here, or the height of your forehead, and divide it into thirds. And this lower third is where gallbladder 14 is. This is on both sides. So gallbladder 14 is good for headaches in the forehead, in the frontal region. It's also a great point for sinus pressure. I've been doing this point in the clinic a lot with acupuncture, because the points that I would often use for sinus congestion and pressure, I can't get to. They're here. We'll talk about those in a minute. But if someone's wearing a mask, I can't really get to this point with a mask. So I've been using gallbladder 14 as my alternative sinus point, and it's working really well. So even though it's not right here next to the nose, it helps to clear congestion from the sinuses. It kind of helps to lift all of that out. Gallbladder 14 is also a really good point for vertigo. So if you suffer from dizziness or vertigo or feeling lightheaded, gallbladder 14 is a great one for that. I like to rub this one in circles as well. And that feels really good if you have tension in your forehead. You can also just sort of trace your finger out along there. Just try different techniques and do what feels good for you. That's one of the fun things about acupressure. All right, so some more points around the eyes. There are 3 points located in the eyebrow region. So first, at the inner edge of the eyebrow is urinary bladder 2. So all 3 of these points that I'm going to show you along the eyebrows are good for anything affecting the eyes or frontal headaches. So you can do any of these or all of these. Urinary bladder 2 is right here. Now, urinary bladder 2 is also a fun point because it will get rid of hiccups. And I don't know how it works, but it does. So if you have the hiccups, press on urinary bladder 2 at the inner edge of your eyebrow and take some deep breaths, and your hiccups will go away. Like I said, I don't know why it works. What I like to do is take my thumbs and just lean my head forward so that I'm putting pressure from my head on my thumbs. Take deep breaths, your hiccups will go away. It's very cool. So that's urinary bladder 2. Right here in the center of the eyebrow, so directly above the pupil. So it's going to be in line with gallbladder 14. You can see where my skin is red from doing that. So kind of same line there as gallbladder 14 is a point right here in the center called Yu-Yao. And then at the edge of the outer edge of the eyebrow is another point, Sanjiao 23. So again, you can use one or all of these points to treat anything affecting the eyes or the forehead. You can just rub outward along the eyebrow. You can start at yin tang, and so there you're getting all of those points together. Stimulates all of those points. You can also just take your 3 fingers and place 1 finger at each point, like so, and just either press or rub in circles. Again, try some different techniques and see what feels good for you. You can also just sort of tap along the eyebrows. That feels good too. So again, these points are going to benefit the eyes and the forehead. And then there are also some points below the eyes. So right here along the orbital bone, there's a point here on this outer edge of the orbital bone. That's gallbladder 1. Be careful, don't poke your eye. There's another point in the center directly below the pupil. And there's a tiny little depression in the orbital bone there. You can feel it if you really try. That's stomach 1. And then there's another point just a little bit lateral to that, Chioho. So these 3 points along the orbital bone are also going to benefit the eyes. I like these when there's eye irritation or dry eyes or congestion in the eyes. You don't want to press too hard because your skin is really delicate right here. And of course you don't want to poke your eyeball. But so you can tap, you can just press with your fingers. Just a little bit of pressure here goes a long way. So you can see already, we already have all of these points around the eyes. So if you are having eye irritation, migraines affecting the eyes, blurred vision, your eyes are tired at the end of the day, you can do some acupressure all along these points. There are lots to choose from. All right, so another point that is on the cheek here is small intestine 18. So if you find the outer corner of your eye and go down, just trace a straight line down on the underside of your bone right here, your zygomatic arch, your bone is here. That's small intestine 18. It's called cheekbone crevice because there is a little depression right there. So small intestine 18 is an interesting point because it eliminates wind from the face. And so when the face is characterized by either partial paralysis or numbness or nerve pain, in traditional Chinese medicine, we consider that wind invading the face. And small intestine 18 is going to eliminate that wind. So facial numbness, facial paralysis, like with Bell's palsy, or facial pain, this is a great point to do. Small intestine 18 right here. All right, so let's talk about some points for the sinuses. So like I mentioned earlier, there are some points on the side of the nose. There are 2 points on each side of the nose. There's large intestine 20 right here. And then a little bit above that is a point called B-tong. So large intestine 20 and B-tong are really close together. So if you're using acupressure, if you're using your fingers, you can hit both of those points at the same time. You can rub in circles. This is like immediate results if you have sinus congestion. If you have a stuffy nose, it will clear it up very, very quickly. The Chinese name for large intestine 20 is welcome fragrance. So that's a description of the function of that point. It welcomes fragrance back into your nose by clearing up the nasal passages. These are really strong points for that. And I actually have patients who request these points when they come in for acupuncture because they work so well for clearing up the sinuses. But acupressure works just as well. So anytime you got a stuffy nose, just rub that in some circles and you will be able to breathe easier. Another point that is going to benefit the nose is DO 26, and that is right here below the nose. This is called the philtrum, this sort of trough right here below the nose. And it is 1/3 of the distance between the bottom of the nose and your lip. So about 1/3 of the way down here, DO 26. That also benefits the nose. And an interesting fact about DO 26 is that it can also restore consciousness. So if someone has fainted, you can take your fingernail and press right there. You have to press really hard. It works better with acupuncture. But yeah, this point is traditionally prescribed to restore consciousness. So those are some points around the nose. And then there's some other points around the mouth. Here at the corners of the mouth, right here, just where at the corner of the mouth, on each side is stomach 4. And then there's a point in this fold here, it's called the mentolabial fold right here. Right in the center is a point called Ren 24. So these points benefit the mouth. And you can also use DO 26 to benefit the mouth You can just sort of draw a circle around the mouth with these points. So this is good for anything affecting the mouth. So if there's pain, it's good for tooth pain or gum inflammation. If there's some numbness in the mouth or some paralysis affecting the mouth, these are good points for that. And again, you can just rub in circles. And then you get to make all kinds of funny faces when you do this too, so that's fun. And again, this is why we have to wash our hands before doing facial acupressure, because we're all around the mouth and the nose, and we want to make sure we're having clean hands when we do that. So another condition that we've been seeing a lot of in the clinic lately is jaw pain. So I want to show you some points for that as well on the face. So we're going to be using the stomach channel. The stomach channel begins here below the eye, with stomach actually begins here at the side of the nose. And then the first point is stomach 1, and then it goes straight down. Stomach 4 is here. And then it goes back up to the corners of the hairline. So right along here, along the jaw, there are some points on the stomach channel. So there's a muscle right here called the masseter muscle, and if you clench your jaw, this muscle is going to pop out. You might not be able to see it, but you can feel it. So put your fingers here on your jaw and then clench your jaw. And you should feel that muscle pop out. It'll move a little bit. See my finger moving when I clench that muscle? Okay, so stomach 5 is located on the anterior border of that muscle. So if I clench my jaw, right here is stomach 5. And then stomach 6 is located right in the middle of that muscle. So right here, here's stomach 5, here's stomach 6. Stomach 5, stomach 6. These are great points for jaw tension, jaw pain, stiffness, TMJ, anything affecting the jaw. And it feels great to massage those points. And then there's another point, stomach 7, that is a little bit farther up. So the zygomatic arch, your zygoma bone, is right here. So on the lower border of that, there's going to be a depression. Just a little bit in front of your ear. That's stomach 7. So if you're having jaw problems, sometimes people feel it more down here in the masseter muscle. Some people feel it more up in the zygomatic arch. Some people feel it everywhere. So wherever you're feeling the most tension and the most congestion, just spend some time massaging there. And it should feel really good. All right. So these are some of the most commonly used points on the face. There are a lot more that we don't have time to talk about, but just to review, we've got Tai Yang here between the eyebrows. No, that's Yin Tong, sorry, between the eyebrows. Tai Yang on the temples. These are going to be good for the eyes. Gallbladder 14 is good for headaches. And it's also good for the eyes and dizziness. And then we've got all these points around the eyes and the eyebrows, here, here, and here. And then along the orbital bone, here, here, and here. All of these points are going to benefit the eyes, good for headaches affecting the eyes, dry eyes, that sort of thing. And then we've got our sinus points here on the side of the nose. Do 26 right here for the sinuses or for the mouth. And then we've got our other mouth points here. Small intestine 18 right here in the cheekbone. And then we've got our jaw points, stomach 5, stomach 6, and stomach 7. So try these out, see what feels good for you. And you can spend more time focusing on an area where you might have more tension, whether it's the eyes or the jaws, whatever. But these are really easy points to do, and they have a big impact. So now let's check back in with our bodies and see how we're feeling and see if we're feeling any change after doing some practice. So just sit comfortably. I'm going to close my eyes for a couple of breaths and just check in and see how I'm feeling. Well, I'm definitely feeling less tension in my jaws, so that's nice. My eyes feel a little bit better too. They were feeling kind of irritated beforehand, and now they feel a little more clear. And overall, I just feel more relaxed. And you can see some redness in the face, in my skin, from where I've done some of those points. So that's normal for the skin to turn red, or maybe it gets darker depending on your complexion. That's all normal. That's just circulation moving to the skin, which is a good thing. So thank you for joining us. Tea and Tantrums, glad you found it relaxing. I always think it's relaxing too. We'll be back again next week with more acupressure. If there's a topic you want to see us cover, then just let us know in the comments. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.